Today, I stand on the firm mitigation side of the resolve we should ban single-use plastics. I will first review our definitions, then I will say our weighing mechanism. Our definitions are ban, an official or legal prohibition. Single-use plastics, plastics that are typically used one time and then thrown away. Our weighing mechanism is net benefits, which means that the side with the most benefits wins. Our first contention is about the economy. Right now, a lot of people have jobs that depend on single-use plastics. If the plant is run, then a lot of people will lose their jobs. According to the House Committee of Energy and Commerce Government, banning single-use plastics will cost American jobs, worsen supply chain prices, and hurt economic development all over the country. Importantly, these plastics bans will deprive us of life-saving technologies like PPE, syringes, vaccine protection equipment, medical gowns, and insulated packaging for transportation vaccines. If we ban single-use plastics, then the whole economy will fall. If single-use plastics are banned, then a lot of businesses will fall, along with a loss of jobs, supply, and economic development. This will lead to many people dying. We are suggesting a strong solution by keeping the world the way it is right now. By not banning single-use plastics, more people will survive, as the fact that our economy will continue to rise from these plastics. Contention 2. Single-use plastics are more sanitary and safe. Single-use products have been enlisted in the fight against food waste, keeping food and water fresher for longer, and reducing the potential for contamination. Because of its safety, flexibility, and cost-effectiveness, plastic is the material of choice for these types of products. This is important for keeping food fresh and sanitary. According to The Conversation, California banned single-use plastic bags in 2016, but state officials waived the ban during COVID-19 quarantines because plastic was perceived as more sanitary. According to The Mill, however, contrary to the idealism of the campaigners, banning the federal government from using single-use plastic goods would not benefit the environment. In fact, life cycle assessments on items such as single-use plastic bags have shown that there is a discrepancy between the actual reuse rates of alternative bags and the reuse rate to break even on environmental grounds. Paper bags need to be reused 4 times, LDPE bags 5 times, non-woven PP bags 14 times, and cotton bags 173 times. Their actual reuse rates are about half that, making them less sustainable than single-use plastic bags, which may also be used as bin liners. The Mill also stated that the same effects appear when we compare glass bottles to plastic bottles. As glass bottles are much heavier, their carbon footprint for transport is also higher. Whoever substitutes a plastic straw with a bamboo straw should also probably be aware of their significant carbon footprint. When food isn't fresh, it can cause food poisoning. People can die or get really sick. When we ban single-use plastics, suppliers no longer have access to this important material. Current alternatives are not good enough to keep food sanitary and fresh at a low cost. So people will die if we ban single-use plastics, because there is nothing else as sanitary or fresh. Our last contention is how unnecessary it is. According to The Hill, the concept of single-use becomes redundant after we consider how far we have come with recycling. Over 90% of Americans live in cities with a population of over 125,000 people, already having access to recycling of single-use plastic bags. Single-use plastics are being recycled, which cancels out the fact that single-use plastics can actually harm the environment. The fact that single-use plastics supposedly can only be used one time does not mean that they can't get recycled, which is why banning single-use plastics is completely unnecessary. Also, banning single-use plastics would also lead to even more pollution. According to the University of Oregon, with a ban on single-use plastic bags in grocery stores, shoppers are inherently inclined to increase their usage on paper bags. Paper production requires a huge amount of water and a shockingly varied list of toxic chemicals, and emits nearly 50% more greenhouse gases than plastic production. In addition, the act of producing paper obviously requires a lot of trees, and as deforestation becomes an increasingly dire environmental issue, banning plastics may not do as much to counteract it. By not banning single-use plastics, we will be preventing the unnecessary change that could potentially actually harm our environment. This is why I still stand on the firmest negation side of the resolve. We should ban single-use plastics. Thank you.